Have you ever felt like God's timing was off? Like you've been praying, hoping, watching the calendar pages turn, yet heaven seems silent and nothing is happening. It can feel agonizing when a promise from God appears delayed. Maybe you expected an answer months ago, or even years, and it still hasn't come. In these moments, discouragement whispers that God has forgotten you or that you somehow missed His plan. But take heart, God is not late. What we see as divine delays are often precisely crafted moments in the tapestry of His perfect timing. Trusting divine delays means learning to see time from God's perspective. From our human view, waiting can feel like waste. We live by deadlines and due dates, and when God doesn't move within our expected time frame, our faith can waver. But Scripture reminds us that God operates on a different timetable. With the Lord, one day is as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as one day. 2 Peter 3:8. He is eternal. He sees the end from the beginning. While we measure minutes, He is orchestrating destinies. What feels slow to us is often a deliberate season of preparation in God's eyes. Think about the story of Joseph. As a teenager, Joseph received a God-given dream of greatness, a promise that one day he'd be in a position of influence. But soon after, he was betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, and later unjustly thrown into prison. Year after year passed in that dark Egyptian dungeon. It must have seemed to Joseph like God's promise was running late or had been completely derailed. Yet the Bible gives a powerful insight into that season. Until the time came to fulfill his dreams, the Lord tested Joseph's character. Psalm 105:19. In that waiting period, God was not absent. He was actively refining Joseph, preparing him internally for the external promotion to come. The delay was not a denial, it was divine development. Divine delays often serve as God's training ground. Just as an arrow is pulled back and held in tension before it's launched, sometimes God holds us back temporarily. It may feel like a setback, but in reality, He's aiming us toward a greater purpose. The tension builds strength and momentum. When the moment is right, we're released into God's promise, and we find that the trajectory is farther and truer than we ever could have managed without that season of being pulled back. In the delay, God is stretching our faith, building our endurance, and aligning circumstances in ways we can't yet see. Maybe you are waiting right now. You watch others receive breakthroughs, perhaps a healing or a promotion, and you wonder, God, what about me? Why is my answer taking so long? It's easy to feel left behind or overlooked. But remember, when God's answer for you arrives, it will be right on time for you. God is never late for the destiny He designed for you. He has not forgotten your prayer or mismanaged your life's schedule. In fact, some outcomes require the fullness of time, the exact alignment of people and purposes. If you rush a cake out of the oven, it will be half-baked. How much more should we trust that the Creator knows the proper season for each of His promises to bloom in our lives? Divine delays often serve as God's training ground. Just as an arrow is pulled back and held in tension before it's launched, sometimes God holds us back temporarily. It may feel like a setback, but in reality, He's aiming us toward a greater purpose. The tension builds strength and momentum. When the moment is right, we're released into God's promise, and we find that the trajectory is farther and truer than we ever could have managed without that season of being pulled back. In the delay, God is stretching our faith, building our endurance, and aligning circumstances in ways we can't yet see. Consider Jesus' friends, Mary and Martha, who faced a devastating delay. Their brother Lazarus was gravely ill, and they begged Jesus to come. But Jesus stayed where he was 2 more days. By the time he arrived, Lazarus was already dead. To the sisters, Jesus seemed too late. Their hope was sealed in a tomb. Yet that late arrival set the stage for an even greater miracle. Jesus called Lazarus out from the grave, revealing God's glory in an astounding way. "Did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God?" John 11:40. What looked like tardiness was actually perfect timing. Jesus wasn't late. He was intentional. His delay had a purpose rooted in love and divine strategy. Perhaps in your delay, God is inviting you to shift your perspective. Instead of asking, "Why is this taking so long?" begin to ask, "What do you want to do in me during this wait, Lord?" This simple change of question transforms frustration into expectation. Maybe He's developing resilience or compassion in you that couldn't emerge if the answer came immediately. The soil of our hearts is being tilled in the waiting season so that when the answer comes, we can sustain the blessing. A tree that grows too quickly may not have deep roots, but a tree that grows slowly sinks its roots deep and strong. God cares about your foundation. He won't deliver a blessing you're not yet prepared to handle. It's okay to cry out while you wait. God is not offended by our tears or our questions in the delay. David often cried, "How long, O Lord, will you forget me forever?" Psalm 13:1. Yet he also reminded himself to wait for the Lord and be strong, Psalm 27:14. In the same way, you can pour out your heart honestly and still choose to trust. Waiting on God is not passive resignation, but an active posture of expectation. It's like a watchman on the city wall scanning the horizon for morning. You may not see any light yet, but you can be confident the sun will rise at the appointed time. How do we hold on during divine delays? Anchor yourself in who God is: faithful, good, sovereign. Remind your soul of the ways He has come through for you before, in your life and in Scripture. Rehearse those victories and speak words of faith over your situation instead of fear. Friend, be comforted. Your story is not on pause, it's on purpose. Every delay in God's plan is a deliberate stitch in a larger tapestry that one day you will see in full. And the thread of hope runs through it all. No wait is too long when God's grace sustains you in the meantime. You will see the goodness of the Lord. The promise will speak. It will not prove false. Like a mother who carries a child to full term, when the promise is born at the right time, joy overtakes the former anguish. You may not understand now what God is doing, but later you'll understand how every piece was needed. Right now, hold on to hope. If God said He will do it, He will, and at just the right time. Your midnight will turn into dawn. Your morning will turn into dancing. The Lord who loves you is never negligent or forgetful. Even now, He's moving all the necessary parts into place for your breakthrough. The answer might arrive later than your preferred schedule, but it will not be a second late in God's perfect plan. Before we finish, if this message has poured hope into your waiting heart, please subscribe to our channel. We're a community on this journey together, and by subscribing, you won't miss upcoming devotionals that encourage you through seasons of waiting and beyond. As we close, let the peace of God settle in your soul. Picture a beautiful sunset. It doesn't rush. It doesn't delay. It arrives at the appointed time and fills the sky with glory. That's what God is doing in your life. The twilight of waiting will break into the brilliance of God's answer. Until then, His grace is sufficient for you. Your story isn't over, and your wait is not in vain. In the quiet, God is at work. In the delay, God is faithful. And when the fulfillment comes, you will stand in awe of how perfect the timing truly was, giving all glory to the one who was right on time all along.